But we are starting this hour at 9:01 with a very special guest who's in the studio with us. Former Manchester United and France fullback Patrice Evra is here.
Yes, we are super excited to have you here. Welcome. We want to hear all about this app that you've launched called Player. Now, it's alongside co-founder Tommy Fish. Really good to have you on the show as well, Tommy. Thanks for joining us. Now, this app aims to help young footballers navigate their careers. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, I mean, if you break it down, it's basically like a LinkedIn for footballers. You know, player profiles, club history, stats, video content, a place where they can network with each other, with coaches, with scouts, with agents, and basically get the visibility and recognition that they deserve.
Patrice, you excited about it? What was the sort of idea behind it all?
No, I'm really excited because at the end it's helping the community, you know. Of course, it's for players, they make it, but also some players, they get released. Like I didn't get that chance, you know, when I was 17 and I didn't do any academy football club, so it's from the street to the top. But they're gonna have a lot of visibility, like Tommy said. They will put their highlight, they will put their stat. We do also already done like some showcase, like for women and men, and 20 scouts. So 4 of the players already find a team. So I feel blessed. I feel blessed because especially when you've been successful all your career and you can help other kids. This is just amazing.
It can be quite a lonely life, can't it? Lonely being a footballer. I mean, you do a lot of travelling around.
Boring.
It can be. So, I mean, you see a lot of players struggle, don't they, with having all that time in the afternoons?
But of course, I think you say it right. Like, people don't realize, and it's when you retire. And sometimes, you know, when I do some charity game and then you like, for example, the soccer aids, and you have to stay 3 days in the hotel, and I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore. So you quite like lots of lonely time in your home, in your room, before the game, traveling a lot in the hotel, being away from your family. That's why, you know, a lot of players start to come out and talking about the mental health and all of that. It's quite tough. No matter the money you earn, you're quite lonely on you, and especially when you have a bad performance, you know, it's down to you. Sometimes, like some player will help you to, you know, to head back, but it's quite tough.
Yeah, you're just sitting alone with your thoughts after, like you say, like what could be a bad performance. So this is really important for young players, but not just young players. The app's going to also help sporting directors, agents and scouts as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing a lot of work with various clubs at the moment. Some of it is kind of confidential because you have players that through us are now on watch lists and scouting lists, and obviously we can't name them, all the clubs. And then we have players who maybe, like Pat mentioned, have been released from an academy and have found that we've helped them find their feet, be it in the non-league or lower leagues. So yeah, it's working already, and that's before we'd even launched.
For young players, there's an arm of it I'm reading here that's to help young footballers away from the game as well. So how's that work?
Yeah, so Player XP, that's where we go into academies. So tomorrow, for example, we're going to West Ham. And we're coaching these young players how to build something simultaneously off the pitch. Because whether you're, say, Cole Palmer or Patrice Evra or a young player at West Ham who may or may not make it there, the sooner you start building something off the pitch, the better, because you're going to need to do it at some stage.
Yeah, I was going to ask that, Patrice. Can it also be beneficial for a player who's already successful, like a Cole Palmer, for example?
Yeah, no, but definitely, like... as even a retired player, I didn't have any of my memories. I would love to just go in an app and see, you know, all my highlight. And like Tommy said, you can also interact, you know, with the young player. Imagine like a young player scoring a screamer, and for example, Cole Palmer like commenting and saying like, "What a wonderful goal!"
Yeah.
You see, how important it is for those young players to be inspired. So it's like just engage with your fan, with your ex-teammate. So it's a great app. Not just because it's all app. It's a great app.
Do you wish you'd had it when you were?
Yes, I wish I had it because, like I said, now if I want to see any of my highlights, yeah, I will have to call Man United or Juventus or the French national team. But I wish I had it. But I had a successful career, so I don't know if it will change, you know, the trajectory, but it will definitely give more visibility.
We're talking about an app for young players. Patrice, you must be pleased with some of the talent that's come through, young talent through your former club, Manchester United. We're looking at Kobe, Garnacho, Ahmed. You know, what do you make of these young guys?
I'm proud of them. I had a chat with Kobe and say, wow, keep doing what you're doing. I think this is United. Back in the day, we were talking about Nicky Butt, Gary Neville, Giggs, Scholes. And now to see, we still got that, even if, the first team results are not great. But I think this is the positive side, seeing those young players coming and playing with no fear. I feel like when I see Garnacho and Maino having the United DNA, and that's what we want to see.
What about the gaffer?
Okay, nice to meet you. It was a pleasure, guys.
He's off.
Oh, it's tough. It's tough. I think like people keep talking about Ten Hag being sacked or no. At the end, you feel like they got the support from the Inos. We're gonna have like 2 tough games: Porto away, Aston Villa, and we're gonna keep saying, oh, if he loses those 2 games, he's gonna get sacked. But from experience, every time when he had that game, when we're gonna say he's gonna get sacked, he always win them. So I'm not worried. I'm not worried.
You love United so much, and I saw you just before you came on. You were watching us with the stats, and we were talking about what they're going through. Is it difficult to watch at this period?
But of course, I think it's hard. It's hard. That's why sometimes some commentators, you see they're really harsh, but because people are frustrated. When you love your club so much and you get disappointed by some performance. Of course, that's why sometimes I remember even when I was working for Sky, I was like begging to not commentating any game for Man United when he was that 5-0 loss against Tottenham. And you can see my face on TV. I couldn't hide my feeling. No matter if you work for Sky and you need to be neutral, when your club not performing well, of course you hurt.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you've already said that you think he can turn it around this season. The combination of the young players coming through, and when he's under a bit of pressure, I mean, the FA Cup final last season, I suppose, was the best example of when you're under severe pressure, Erik ten Hag can pull something out of the bag.
No, that's what I mean. So, the problem with United now, you don't know what to expect. But like you say, when they're against the wall, that's when they react. So. Yes, I'm positive because I'm a positive person, but we have to be careful and not playing too much with the fire because especially even the last loss at home against Tottenham, it was really harsh to accept.
We've been asking our viewers who they think is the best player in the Premier League at the moment.
Both get involved with this one.
And it's because Jamie Carragher said that he thinks Cole Palmer is one of the best players at the moment in the Premier League. Is there anyone that comes to mind for either of you?
To be fair, he's the first one to come in mind.
Yeah.
On form, you have to say Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, on form, I will definitely say Cole. So Cole, by the way, I'm saying that because I want you to sign in the app. Make sure you sign up in the app.
Get on it. Well, how do they sign up to this app then? Finally, Tommy, let us know of it. Young players watching at home and so on. How do they get involved with Player?
Well, they can sign up today. And essentially get on our wait list. We're shaping it around the elite academy ballers at the moment, and those who are still at academies, some who may have been released, and shaping it around that demographic. And then it's invite only to begin with, but we're going to be expanding outwards. And then by early 2025, we're looking to open the floodgates and get all the way to the grassroots legends as well.
Great. Well, I'm still playing in the Vets League, so I'm waiting for my invite. Okay?
More than welcome.
Get me in, yeah.
Get your stats up.
Get my stat. In fact, don't do that. Guys, thank you so much for coming in.
Absolute pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely brilliant to see both of you. Good luck with it as well.
Thank you very
Let's
much.
get more on our top story. Manchester United, Michael Bridge is here with us, best dressed in the studio today. OK, now, Carragher is singling out De Ligt on Sunday, but how worrying are United's defensive problems?
Well, they've kept clean sheets this season as well, in fairness to them. They've just had damaging defeats, Liverpool and Tottenham, those 2 3-0 defeats. But that the goalkeeper and the back four, apart from Dalla, have been signed by Erik ten Hag. So that, it is on him, in fairness, in terms of the defence and the goals conceded. But let's have a look at the goals conceded under Erik ten Hag. 123 games, and in 23 games where he's conceded 3 or more goals, more worrying one as well is they've 10 defeats, losing by 3 or more goals. And as I mentioned the other week, really damaging one at home to Liverpool 3-0, their biggest rivals. And then Sunday, expected it to be a tight game against a Tottenham side who do let you attack as well and concede plenty of goals themselves. But it was, in the end, a very, very damaging afternoon for Ten Hag. Not just goals conceded in the league, they faced 20 shots or more 16 times in 44 games, more than any other team. That's including relegated sides. So it's been a difficult few weeks. Of course, it wasn't looking so bad when they were winning against Southampton. They had that cup win against Barnsley, but then there was the 20 game, and you're hearing Christian Eriksen saying the team wanted it more. I think that was the most damaging one for me. So, yeah, could be a very tough week, and they've got that Porto game and then Aston Villa.
Yeah, OK, problems at the back, but what about in front of goal?
Yeah, this graphic here is how many goals they've scored and how many they should have scored. The good old XG and Manchester United there. I mean, it doesn't make good reading at all for Manchester United. They're creating chances, they're just not putting them away. It's becoming a real worry for Manchester United. Another worry as well here, if you can see it as well, the Manchester United attacking graphic, the Premier League ranking this season. Have a look at this. So they're fifth. They've scored, 5 goals. 17th. They're in 17th for goals scored. Of course, Marcus Rashford's in and out of the side. Joshua Zirkzee, he's still young. Rasmus Højlund's been injured. We know Bruno Fernandes hasn't had the best of starts, and now he faces a suspension. The XG differential, as we just mentioned there, bottom in the XG differential. Big chances missed, second bottom. Shots, 10th. Shots on target joint, 7th. Forward passes, 4th. They're creating chances. They're just not